Hi friends, I am back here for another video about hand applique. I am continuing to work on the Raven by Blackbird Designs, and I am working on block 2, which I'm very excited about. And I thought I would just make a little video where I talk to you quickly about overlapping pieces. I touched on it in the block 1 video that I made, and I thought I'd go into it a bit more in block 2. So first I want to show you, I finished block 1, which I'm very excited about, but I wanted to show you a slight flaw, if you will. This acorn, see here how, let's see, if you can see it, there is a bump here, and that's where it overlaps. Okay, because this hill is turned under the fabric, and then this fabric is turned under and it's overlapped on top, and you can kind of see where it's raised. I mean, for me personally, that's not a big deal. This is going to be a big quilt, and I think that'll be lost in it. But if I finish the top and I feel like it isn't lost in it, then I will pick this out and find a way to fix that. It is kind of just the nature of the way these overlap, because it's kind of on the edge. I think it makes it stand out more. You can see this wing right here. I did the same thing. This edge got turned under, and then this got sewn on top, and I don't think you can tell. So it's not always an issue, but it did make me realize that I want to focus a little more on not turning under the sides that are underneath something else, if that makes sense. So let me show you example. So this bird right here, you can see the wing overlaps here. So I've turned my edges on that bird. Here it is. And you can see here, I haven't turned the part that will be under the wing. So when I did, when I traced this shape, this line was there. I'll show you right here. It shows you where it's going to overlap. So with my scissors, before I turned the edges, I just made little snips here and then turned everything except for that piece. Because then when I go to put everything together, this wing will cover that part up, and there won't be folded fabric underneath it, so there won't be a risk of creating a ridge underneath it. I hope all of that makes sense. Please feel free to ask me questions if it didn't. Something else I've been doing to help myself out, so here you'll see there's these stars, and these edges, these points, I'm sorry, will go underneath these big points. So this is an overlap here, and I don't want to finish these edges of the triangles because I don't want to create a ridge underneath. I think I did in the first block, I did finish those edges and I just sewed them close together and it was fine, but I'd rather not. So what I've done is, to remind myself of where not to turn the fabric over, I've drawn an arrow towards those edges. So you can see, like here, for O and P, I know N is going to overlap them. So I did these arrows to remind me when I go to do my Apliquick not to fold that edge over. And then when I go to sew these on, I'll pin this in place. I'll pin all 3 pieces in place, and then I will sew these on first and sew N on after. So that's how that's going to work. I thought maybe the best way to do an example would be to put this pumpkin together. So I have cut those pieces out, and now I'm going to finish them with my Apliquick tools. The pumpkin in this one has 3 different fabrics for the pumpkin, so I'm doing that. It was a little intimidating in a way to pick those. Here are the pieces I'm going with, so hopefully they all meld together well, and I am going to get started on that right now.
Early sun and the biggest sky greets hills that I have ever seen. These old stone walls and the ones they're holding, the only place I want to be. Gosh, I'd love come shining in your door. Catch those words as they go by. Catch that wave as it crashes over you. And keep the fire alive. In the dark.
All right, so here we go. My edges are turned and I left these two raw. And when I go to sew them down, I will sew down the outside edges first, and then I will sew the middle piece on top, and it should be nice and flat. So I hope that's helpful. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm excited to get working on block 2. I will see you in the next video.